right, everybody. So, we are back yet again for yet another episode on Angry Rants. Thank you, everybody who is liking and subscribing to the content. Thank you to everybody who's commenting, who's throwing likes out there and things like that. I thoroughly appreciate you. Just letting everybody know, I'm going to combine a little bit of the intermission video today along with the episode that I'm going to be shooting. Now, to let everybody know, to clear up any confusion, every Thursday I'm going to be dropping some content. All right? Every Thursday. Every Thursday is going to be a major episode. I might post a little bit more in between here and there as I do specials and whatnot. Like if I do any sort of promotionary videos or anything like that, I might drop a little bit in between. Or if I want to do like an immediate reaction or anything to something that happened, I might drop something like that. But every Thursday, you are going to see me dropping an episode every Thursday. So with that being said, today I want to talk about communication. Now, what does it mean to communicate? You know what I mean? There's multiple ways that you can communicate. Like if you're communicating your anger because of a situation that doesn't add up, when you're yelling and when you're being upset and things like that, those are the type of things that happen in that situation, right? So we also got to understand something as well, okay? A lot of people don't know how to communicate. A lot of people, they say communication is key, but they really don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to speak. They don't know how to convey their message without going overboard. One of the biggest problems that we have in current society today is when we're posting memes on Facebook saying communication is key, or I need somebody that knows how to talk and communicate and stuff like that. You post all those memes, but you yourself doesn't know how to communicate. We live in a real hypocritical era. We really do. Where people like to say things that they want, but they're not conveying that same message. Like, what exactly are you doing to convey that message? You're not doing anything. So if you're not being productive in conveying a productive message, you're only being hypocritical, okay? Learning to communicate is learning how to talk despite, and this is through your daily interactions with people. This is going through things and stuff like that. You really learn how to communicate in those situations. Nobody really knows what truly goes on. All right, nobody is going to know everything. Somebody is going to overreact to a certain situation, especially if it's the first time it ever happened in their life. Okay, but communication is a learned process, because there's a lot of things that happen in our lives that we can't be prepared for. We just need to address it as it happens. Right. Communication is key. It is key, but it's not just key when you feel like that communication is key. It's key all the time. It's key when you're going through something. It's key when you have a lot to say on a particular subject. It's key when you're going through it with your spouse. It's key when you're at work and you need to tell your boss that something's fucked up. It's key when you're just out and about, just living your life. Communication in itself. Okay, when let's say you're at a club and you're dancing with a female, communication is key, because you want to let them know, I just want to have fun. I'm not trying to hook up. Well, I mean, that's what more mature people's about. But when you're on that kid mindset, of course you're gonna sit there and think about fucking more than you're gonna think about having fun. Right. Because I just don't get what's so exciting about sex, that people's highest accolade is how much pussy or how much dick they can get. I just don't understand that. But that's a whole different topic that I already got into, so I'm not going to dive into it again.
Instant gratification's been normalized, which is why communication is valued so poorly and misused.
Well, it's actually valued highly and misused. So it's not valued poorly; it's poorly executed. So it's highly valued, poorly executed, and misused. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what communication is in this current generation. Like, I feel you. I understand you 100%.
I agree. You worded it much better.
Yeah. But overall, though, communication is something that we all have to do at some point in our lives. It's just all going to come down to how much you're willing to communicate and how much respect that you have for the individual to communicate properly. Because that also comes down to a respect thing. Because if you don't give a fuck about the person, you don't care how you respond to that person, that communication doesn't really mean much to you. If you're in a relationship and you're trying to communicating your feelings, and then it ends up in an argument, that's not proper communication.
No.
So, with that being said, guys, communication is definitely key. But what's also key is learning how to communicate.
If it's okay for the milk stealer to tag in,
of course.
I'm gonna stay focused on the camera and the podcast production, because y'all hear me out along with it, collabing a little bit, little something. What would you say, Cuzzo, aka Angry Rants? Would you say that it's also important to know the difference between talking to someone and speaking to someone, since we are talking about communication?
Yes.
Cool.
Because when you're speaking and talking in terms of communication is different in the sense that you're learning why that person is conveying these particular feelings to you.
Absolutely.
That's speaking. When you're just talking, that means you heard what they said, you just don't care what they said, and you're just responding to what you want to say, what you want to. That's the difference between speaking and talking.
Exactly. For those that's tuning in, as you heard the homie Angry Rant said, when has it ever been said or known for anyone to say, stop speaking bullshit, or stop speaking to me like that? Usually the word talk or talking is in that sentence.
Yep. Communication, guys. Communication. It's important. It's always going to be important. It's never going to not be important. Understand that communication is a thing that we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives, whether it's through phones, whether it's in person. We got to learn how to communicate. Don't let autocorrect save you on your phone. Learn something. Okay? Learn something. Learn from your situations and respond accordingly. That's all there is to it. It's all up here.